Join me as I dive into the creepiest true horror stories from cemeteries and morgues that are sure to send chills down your spine. Welcome to the darker side of reality, where the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest. Tonight, we're venturing into the unsettling world of cemeteries and morgues, where the unknown lurks around every corner, and the air is thick with an eerie atmosphere that'll leave you shivering with fear. Death is a mysterious and unsettling reality that we've all had to face at some point in our lives. It's the one certainty in life, and yet, it's the one thing we fear the most. Cemeteries and morgues are the places where the veil between life and death is at its thinnest, and it's no surprise that these locations have been the epicenter of numerous paranormal encounters and unexplained events. The silence in these places can be deafening, and the shadows that dance on the walls seem to take on a life of their own. It's as if the spirits of the dead are still lingering, trying to communicate with us, or perhaps warning us to stay away. Whatever it is, the sensation is always unsettling, and it's a feeling that can't be replicated anywhere else. From ghostly apparitions to disembodied voices, cemeteries and morgues have seen it all. And yet, despite the fear that they evoke, we're drawn to these places like moths to a flame. Perhaps it's our innate curiosity, or maybe it's the thrill of facing the unknown head-on. Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure: cemeteries and morgues are the perfect breeding ground for horror stories that'll keep you up at night. In the small town of Missouri, there's a cemetery that's infamous for its ghostly apparitions. People have reported seeing the ghost of a young girl wandering around the gravestones, crying out for her mother. Others have heard strange whispers in their ears even when there's no one around. It's as if the spirits in this cemetery are desperate to communicate with the living. In another cemetery in New Orleans, visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the trees, watching them with cold, dead eyes. Some have even claimed to have seen ghostly processions, with spirits dressed in old-fashioned clothing, walking through the gravestones as if they're still attending a funeral. In a morgue in Los Angeles, workers have reported hearing strange noises coming from the autopsy rooms, even when no one's around. Doors have been known to slam shut on their own, and equipment has malfunctioned mysteriously. It's as if the spirits of the dead are trying to make their presence known, even in the most sterile of environments. But the most spine-chilling story I'm about to share with you is one that'll leave you breathless. It's a story that combines elements of horror, tragedy, and the supernatural, and it's a story that'll haunt you forever. In the 1930s, a small morgue in rural Georgia was the site of a terrible tragedy. A young woman had been brought in, dead from a tragic accident. But as the coroner was about to perform the autopsy, he noticed something strange. The woman's eyes were open, and she was staring directly at him. At first, he thought it was just a trick of the light, but as he looked closer, he realized that the woman's eyes were actually moving, as if she was trying to communicate with him. As the days went by, more and more strange occurrences began to happen. Equipment would malfunction, doors would slam shut, and people would report seeing the ghost of the young woman walking the corridors. It was as if she was trapped between life and death, and she was desperate to find peace. But the most shocking twist came when the coroner received a mysterious letter in the mail. It was from the young woman herself, and it contained a message that would chill him to the bone. The letter read, "I'm still here and I'll never leave." Tonight, we've delved into the darkest corners of cemeteries and morgues, and we've uncovered some truly terrifying tales that'll haunt you forever. But as we say goodbye to these spine-chilling stories, remember that death is always lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce. So, what do you think, guys? Have you had any eerie experiences in cemeteries or morgues? Share your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our next video for more spine-tingling content.